Hello, my friend. Have you ever gone silent when it mattered most? Walked away from a conversation only to think, oh my God, why did I say that? Or feel like your message got completely lost in translation? Well, you are not alone. Welcome to the club. You are in the right place. Welcome to Breaking Bad Communication, where we challenge the habits, headspace, and hangups that keep you from being heard. My name is Cathy Riley. I'm a communication strategist and the founder of the Clarity Code. And your guide, with over 25 years in the courtroom and another 20, oh, that hurts, as a speaker, trainer, and entrepreneur. And I'm only 25 years old. Yeah, that's it. This podcast is your real world playbook for mastering tough conversations, building unshakable confidence, and showing up with the kind of clarity that changes everything from boardrooms to break rooms to your own backyard. Put your seatbelts on, my friends, because today I'm really excited about our guest. So I have the fantastic, the fabulous Miss Cathy Domsch. She is the founder of Keystone Collective, author of Not Now, a business and leadership coach with deep roots in rural America and a passion for building strong, connected communities and workplaces. After more than 2 decades leading economic development and community foundations across Northwest Kansas, she transitioned into the private sector where she saw firsthand how healthy culture drives performance, retention, and growth. That experience led her to entrepreneurship, where she now partners with individuals and organizations to create clarity, alignment, and cultures where people and businesses thrive. At the heart of Cathy's work is a simple belief: when people are supported, engaged, and empowered, everything works better. Thank you so much, Miss Cathy, for joining us today.
It is a privilege to be here with my other Cathy.
Yes, for those listeners, you have a Cathy sandwich today. This is just, oh, so good. We've known each other for many years, and it is amazing to me what you do and what you bring to the table. So we're just going to get right into it because I know our listeners are like, ooh, tell me more. Tell me more. So you work with high achieving people who look successful on the outside and feel stuck on the inside. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Like, we look good on social media, we look good on paper, we've got all this, but yet there's something that's holding us back. And in your experience, what do you think? What is one of the issues, that makes so many people feel stuck?
Oh, it's hard to dial it into one, Cathy. But
Let's give some top few.
I know. Okay. All right. Well, we need a vision first, right? If we don't have a vision and we don't understand where we're going, what are our goals, then we're going to be in the same spot 365 days from today. We have to have our goals. We have to have belief in ourselves.
So wait, okay. So you're telling me, like, start with the end in mind? Like, we need to have a path?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
Begin with
okay.
the end in mind. I sometimes I do activities with my clients. What do you want people to say about you at your funeral?
Ooh, that's
What's your
power.
legacy? Yeah. What is your legacy? Who do you want to impact?
Nice. Nice. So starting with the end in mind, and then just as average, I mean, you work in corporate America, you do a lot of that, but just as humans in general, I would imagine that our goal is not always business.
No, no.
Like,
We
do
have to have
people?
our personal goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for most people?
It is so different. We're different. We're human, right? There's not one of us that is the same. We both have the same name, but we are completely different people with different aspirations and different paths to get us here today.
I that's very, very true. In my experience as well, in working with, humans in litigation and in corporate America, and it's knowing that there are a community, like, as a whole, whether it's a family or an organization, like, coming together and figuring out what do we all want, right? And how do we layer that with what we want as an individual? Wouldn't you say that that is important?
Oh, absolutely. Because how can we be passionate about something if we're not passionate about it personally? Right. So what am I going to bring to my job to others if I don't have that personal passion and personal goals to, say, in my world right now, help others? That's my passion. I want to see others just excel and achieve their goals. Well, that's my passion and my goal is to help others do the same.
Yeah. And what would you say, what's one strategy that you use to help them see their goals?
Hmm.
Because I know you do, Laura, you have lots of layers to what you bring to the table. Is there one thing that comes to mind right now that you strategically implement to help people see that?
The first thing is we have to have the right mindset. We have to have an open mindset, open to learning, open to seeing other people's perspectives, open to starting out the day with positivity. If we wake up in the morning and say it's going to be a crappy day, you're going to not have a great day, right? It's all in how we approach the world and approach our day is we can be a victim or a victor.
A victim or a victor? Is
Mhm.
there, so do you help, okay, tongue tied, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Is there a strategy that you implement, you teach, you embrace to start the day on a positive note?
For me, absolutely.
Tell me.
All right. Well, I try to start every day the same, and it's not for the ritual pieces of it. It's just because I have found what sets my day, the right tone for my day. And it is, we have to start out with that workout. We've got to get the body moving. And I used to, well, my day used to start out with an hour and a half workout every day. I've switched. I'm a little older. I'm 27 now. Haha. Right?
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
yes, I'm with you. And so, really, I start mine out with meditation.
Mm,
I just spend time just in the quiet before everybody gets up, just thinking about my day, planning out my day. Hopefully, I've pretty much scheduled everything. I know what's taking place through the day, but really just setting that right mindset for the day.
I
Every
love
day
that.
is different. Every day, every client is different. Every conversation is different. And really gearing up and making sure I'm in the right mindset so I can be my best self for my clients.
Yeah. And okay, we're going in a different direction than I planned, but I like this. So, mindset is, I believe I'm 100% with you on mindset, right? I often have to check myself before I wreck myself on
Mhm.
the mindset, right? Because something will we'll go down a tangent. Like I get in an argument with my husband because he didn't load the dishwasher the way we're supposed to. After 20 some years together, and we'll do that, right? Little things will tick us off and get us off kilter. So it's a recheck, right? What's one strategy, one thought? How do you recheck yourself? Shift
Uh,
from that spiral to back to being productive and positive.
oh yes, because we're human, right? The day can hit us,
Yes.
something can hit us, right? So it's just having that reset. My reset is honestly going to a just a quiet space, walking away, and just three deep breaths and telling myself, I've got this, whatever the situation may be, right? It's
Yeah.
okay. I've got this. Take three steps back, take three steps away, whatever you need to, just to find that, all right, recalibrate. It is okay. This is not going to dictate my day. I'm in control.
Oh, I like that. And because you can recalibrate whether it's at home or at work, like even in an office meeting, a team training, right? When you're listening to somebody and a conflict resolution, you can recalibrate anywhere with that breath, simple
Absolutely. You
breaths.
don't have to walk away, right? You can just
Right.
do your own thing quietly. Just take those three deep breaths. Put, yeah, just do your
Yeah.
own reset. Find what works for you. Find maybe it's the hum of a fan. Maybe it's the I don't know, whatever it is, wherever you're at, you can find something to dial into for those 3 deep breaths.
Love it. And okay, and here's this is another squirrel moment, but it when something presents itself, I feel the need to share, especially if it's in alignment with our message, right? It's and if you're an introvert, right, and you're in that situation and you know you need to calibrate or recalibrate, I should say, it's a great time to hit the restroom, right? And you give yourself an excuse that's acceptable to everybody in the room, and you're like, excuse me, and right? I don't know if did we even meet in the restroom? That might have been.
I was going to say, are you replaying a conference a few years ago that I was just a little overwhelmed and you found me in the restroom? Yes.
Met so many people in because I do the conferences, right? So part of being a speaker and an entrepreneur is I go to these conferences, and then as an introvert, I'm like, I need to recalibrate.
I need my space.
And I do. And it's not necessarily, I can't take 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go back to my hotel room. So I hit the restroom and then I do the breathing thing, right? And next thing you know, I'm bonding with other people who are doing the exact same thing.
Yes. And giving me a hug, and you give great hugs. And thank you for that day, by the way.
Well, right back at you, sister. Hugs are great. Okay, I love where this conversations are going. So, but I'm going to shift gears, okay,
Okay.
because there's so much goodness that you bring to the table. And here's the reality, and you know this, we know this. We all have a past, okay? We all have learned behavior and beliefs from our past that form who we are today, how we show up, our ability to communicate, right? Our way of living in the world, working with other people. And I'm really curious, what's a belief that you had to unlearn or break bad, right? Break bad in your own journey, something that you had to overcome, right? That adversity, and you had to be resilient that now has led you to be the version we see here today.
Going, wow, going back, I had to, I had to learn that I am worthy.
Oh, yeah.
I had to learn that to quit apologizing for everything. I didn't need to apologize for everything. I am who I am, and I had to accept myself and that I am worthy and I am smart and I can learn and I can do this and I can and I can and I can. So I had to really, I took a support system that, when we've talked about ourselves and our past lives, and when we're broke down enough and we're told we're not good enough, to relearn that is hard, but you need that support system and you need to listen to them.
Oh, here's the thing, and I was on another training this morning, giving a training, well, actually two trainings, but digress. Um, where that it came up, how often we are told that we're not enough and it's not necessarily those are the words that are used. It's sit down, shut up. What do you know? Who do you think you are? And my favorite was with my family. It's shut up and go back in the kitchen. You
That's your
know,
place?
I'm like, 6 years old, 8 years old. Shut up and go back in the kitchen. Talk to your mother, right?
Right.
Which that was the mindset, the Midwest mindset is girls were to be seen and not heard. And it was told today that it was it was children. They were told multiple times children were to be seen and not heard.
Wow.
So there's a lot of us that hear that on a regular, most of us hear that in one form or fashion. So as you navigated this, you're owning your worth, you're stepping into that. What's one strategy you use that really helped flip that switch?
Well, to tell on myself a little bit. So just reaffirmations. Put sticky notes on your mirror. Wait, so that you wake in your bathroom mirror. So you wake up in the morning. I am smart. I am whatever it is. I am happy. So one time I had, I am smart, I am happy, I am rich. And it wasn't rich in dollars and cents, just rich in life. And it changes that self-talk. Yeah, you know this better than anybody, and unleashing your inner voice, right? It's that self-talk is so huge. You have to change it, and you are the only one that can change it.
Yeah. Powerful move. Those little stickies that remind you, and I still have them. I the one that I have now, right now, is you just can't fix stupid.
Love it.
Because I am an individual who loves to help and give. And like how many times can I give you something? Can I help you? Can I serve you? And if you've got to want to do it for yourself. So like you're saying is changing your limiting beliefs. It has to be you. And a great tool, I love that you shared that, is the little post-it notes. Where can we put things that remind ourselves how we talk to ourselves? And those words are powerful. And that's reprogramming. That's the unconscious mind is so it's the neuroscience behind it all. It's your
Absolutely.
reprogramming. And little by little you are chipping away the past, moving
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that at some point you are saying, I am this, I am that, right? I am rich beyond belief. And it may not be like you said, it's not
Not the
monetary.
financial. No, it's not monetary.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just rich in life, rich in friends, rich in love, rich in and just enjoying life. Yeah,
That's powerful.
it is. And when you get there and you look back to your past and you're like, wow, look how far I have come, because there are incremental steps. And at the time, you may not realize the change that's taking place. But when you do take a step back and look at the big picture of where you've been, where you've come from, and where you are today, it's powerful. And then you're just, okay, what's next? Right? That's the motivation. What's next?
Yeah. And we don't take those. Would you agree? I believe, but you tell me and chime in on this if you that we often don't celebrate those little incremental steps.
I agree. Sometimes we don't realize they're happening though, until
Yeah.
there's a significant just conversation or something takes place. And you're like, oh wow, look, I reacted differently in that situation. And you're like, okay, there's growth, right? So it's
Yeah.
you don't always realize it, but then once something happens, like I said, you're in a conversation or you're in a group setting and you have spoken up and you've never spoken up before, because if we're introverts, we're very cautious. We're not going to put ourselves out there for fear of looking stupid. So, but when we do, and then it goes, people are agreeing with us, or the conversation, it triggers the conversation, that's motivational. And then, all right, we're out of our comfort zone and we're just growing a little bit more every time we step out of that comfort zone.
So I love it. Okay. Keeping the conversation rolling. Now, let's talk about your book, Not Now, which I'm showing it. You can see it in the back of you. Okay, Not Now. You talk about procrastination. And I can relate to this because I am a great procrastinator. And I'm sure there's a lot of people here listening that um, can deal with, can appreciate, can understand procrastination. So your book helps navigate it, right? I love some of the tips that you gear up. So there's amazing strategies and tips on this. What would you say to our listeners? What's one thing they can do right now to help with procrastination?
Mindfulness is, so I have my book here, and one of the pieces in the book here is mindfulness can be a powerful tool in understanding and addressing the roots of procrastination. If we just take time to step back and reflect on our day, reflect how we feel, and you've got that monkey on the back, something's just, okay, why am I not tackling this? But when we do, it takes 5 minutes and we feel so much better. But why do we not tackle that right away? When we understand that, we understand ourselves, we have that self-awareness piece, right?
Yeah.
And we're in the right mindset to be open to learning more about ourselves, then we dive into the roots of procrastination. Procrastination has ruined relationships for me. I, that's why I wrote the book, is because I can be one of the world's biggest procrastinators. And how best to hold yourself accountable, and when you don't want to be a hypocrite, then to write a book about it. And right. So that is why. Yeah.
Well, and I'm a person who likes deadlines. Like if I say
Good.
I'm going to, okay, this was either years ago learning about myself. I started running. And I had a girlfriend who's just like, let's start running, right? Okay, great. Let's start running. And it's like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm somebody that works out almost every day too. So I've got a lot of energy, so I need to get it out of me. And it wasn't until I signed up for a 5K that I finally went, ooh, that
I
I'm
better
like,
start running.
now it's like, I gotta do it. Same with, I did a sprint triathlon, and I wasn't a big swimmer. I didn't know how to swim. I mean, I could float to some degree, but I'm like, I want to live. It's open water swim, so I better learn how to swim. Got my wetsuit, put my name and number on it in case they found the body, and I'm like, let's go. So it's some of us need that deadline, and I don't know if that's, you know, if we're a little bit broken
No,
or if it's just a
nobody's broken. Everybody
nobody's
procrastinates. Everyone procrastinates.
okay.
Doesn't matter if you are a CEO of a company, you're an entrepreneur, what personality style you are, everyone procrastinates in some capacity. We just have to understand why.
Oh, very good. And if we all do it, does it necessarily mean it's a bad thing?
No, as long as we understand why, so we're not beating ourselves up. I mean, how many times have you woke up in the middle of the night, you're like, I really need to get that done. I really need to get that done. And we lay there for 3 hours, but we still don't get up and just do it. But the next day or 3 days later, because we haven't slept yet, because we're thinking about that thing we need to do, it literally takes 5 to 10 minutes. And look at all the anguish we could have saved ourselves, the motivation we could have gained from doing it 3 days ago, and everything else we could have conquered in between. That's why it's productivity. It's a productivity tool. So,
Love that. Okay. So on this note, how can, oh, it's like you know what I'm going to ask.
I don't
How can
know.
someone tell the difference between being busy and being truly aligned?
Ah, there's a difference between being busy and being truly aligned or productive. Like, we're all busy. Everybody, how many people say, I'm just so busy. I'm just so busy. But at the end of the day, what have you really accomplished? You look, your checklist is still there. You haven't done nothing on your list. So it's just a matter of prioritizing. What are the things that really will move that needle? Remember when we started the conversation about um, the reason people feel stuck? It's without a vision, right? If we don't have our goals or our vision setting out there, put that sticky note with your vision on it. And if those things on your to-do list that day are not helping you achieve that goal or that vision, you don't need to do it. Yeah, there's going to be things we have to do, right? Pay taxes, those kind of things. But for the majority, get those things in the quadrant two, right? Like, get those things scheduled, get those things planned out to move that needle.
So
And then
in
you'll become more productive and then get rid of the busy work, right? Your time's not going to be, schedule that focus time for the productivity time.
so what's one thing we can do that allows us to create that priority? Like you talk about your vision, right? So big picture. Is there how do we get to that big picture? Is there a process? I mean, I know you take people through a process to get
I
there.
do. Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
what's one thing we can do to help figure out where do we want to go?
Yeah. Just think about, first, you have to also think about where you're at today. Where have you been? But thinking about where you want to go, I mean, think about, where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to have your own business? What pieces? Do you want to be married and living in Texas? Do you want to, yeah, right? So find that North Star, find that vision, find those goals, and you have to break things down into the how can I get there? We have to break them down. So I don't know. It's fun. I love helping people figure out their vision. People, whether it's individuals or organizations, finding their vision, going through that process to find what is their North Star, and then getting everybody aligned or getting yourself aligned if it's your personal goals.
So
And
what
what,
I'm hearing you say is okay, figuring out, okay, where do we want to go? And then breaking it down to the like what do we want?
yeah,
How do we want to get there? Right? And then
absolutely.
when are we going to get there?
Mhm. Yeah.
And tying that all together.
Tying it all together into, I mean, it's your basic SMART goal, right? Is it specific? Is it measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound? You have to set those goals with a timeline, and even those bigger goals, you have to break them down. Otherwise, it gets overwhelming, and that's when we start procrastinating, when things get overwhelming.
Ah, overwhelming.
Hmm.
Because we're spending time doing the things that do not move
Do not
us
move the
forward.
needle, right? If we're not very intentional, we'll think we are. But if we're not intentional and have it broke down and everything is guiding us, we ask the question, is this guiding me to my North Star, guiding me to my vision? What I'm doing today, is it going to get me here? If we say no, we've got to just discard or delegate if you have a team, whatever it may be.
I like discard, delegate, and I think defer is the other one that I've
Yeah.
used. So
Yes.
do, defer, delegate, or discard. I think they were the D's that I
Yeah.
used to think about.
Okay.
Um, when we had our, I'm alliteration. I like the play on letters and things. So knowing that productivity, being more productive means, if I'm hearing what you're saying, is doing the things that matter the most to move the needle forward and being consciously aware, mindful of, okay, what do I need to do today, this week, this month, this quarter, and what can I let go of?
You nailed it. Can we write that down? That could be my elevator pitch, right?
Yeah, well, we'll get the recording. This will be
For
out there.
sure. You nailed it though. It really is. You did nail that.
And we started with start with the end in mind. And I there's a book out there that I don't know if you I don't know the author, but what got you here won't get you there. Are you familiar with that book?
I have heard of that book, but I cannot remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's not right. No, it's not the success habits, but it's because I think especially as humans, we talk about finding our North Star. Okay, you're talking about finding your North Star. But to the extent we have that North Star, like our North Star today is different than it was last year.
Oh, yes.
So what got us here to today is going to be different than what's going to get us there tomorrow, next month, next year.
Absolutely.
So creating a flexibility with that, right?
Oh, yeah. Nothing is black and white. Some of us like to live in the black and white.
Well, sometimes it's easier that way,
And sometimes it's harder.
but we're human, we're complicated.
Yes.
So you often talk about, speaking of complicated, you often talk about different personality styles.
Yes.
How important is personality styles when it comes to productivity?
Well, it all is starts with self-awareness, right? So we have to be aware of ourselves and our understanding why we react the way we do in situations. Why am I putting this off? Why am I, yeah, asking ourselves those questions. But when we understand our personality styles, because we're all different, even though both of us are introverts, we still have a different personality style when it comes to um, taking one of the assessments. And I use DISC a lot. So and I have moved on that disc circle through the years, just life experiences. So that's been fun to watch and take a step back and look to see where I came from and where I am today. But it all starts with self-awareness, whether you are an individual wanting to just be more productive in life and hit some of our personal goals, or you're wanting to be a leader of people. And it all starts, a good leader is a self-aware leader, right? So,
Well, and I would think adding to that, especially when we're dealing with other humans. So whether our team is at work, right? Or our team is at home, whatever the dynamics, or the team is out on the road while you're driving with other people, right? You're in rush hour, you're at the grocery store. How important is it that, okay, yes, I'm aware of my own personality type, but how important is it to be aware of the personality types for the other humans that are out
oh
there?
yeah, that's the next step. We have to be aware of ourselves and understanding there are different types. So once we have self-awareness, then being aware of others and how to approach them in communication, right? So different people like to be approached differently. Different, some people like to have 5 bullet points in a message, and some like 5 pages of information in a message. So give me the 5 bullet points.
Yeah, I'm with you, sister. Okay, short and sweet, but then allow for questions because I will
Exactly. I
have
was just
some.
going to say, but you better have your facts ready because I'm going to ask some questions.
Right? And that's the way we as humans, we need to always be able to navigate this. Like, you know, communication, right? A lot of the mistakes that we make with being communicating with other people is we say something, but we don't say it in a way that others can hear and understand. We say it in a way that we understand.
Yes.
And so the communication tool, the key to communication is bridging the gap between what's heard or what's said and meant to what's heard and understood.
Yes.
And that comes with clarity and asking questions, which is why it's so important that what you bring to the table with team dynamics, right? That we're aware of, like, we all have, when we're working with teams, we all have to be on the same page.
It makes life a lot easier.
So if you
You've
were,
been on teams when we're not in alignment, right? It's just chaos.
yeah,
It's a constant struggle. Yeah.
what's one thing, let's say we've got a listener, and by the way, if you are liking what you're hearing from Breaking Bad Communication, this podcast, subscribe, right? Get this out there. We are growing. Traction is growing. People need to hear. We're bringing more and more value to you because this is about you, the listener, and making sure you break bad when it comes to communication. So I'm so honored that Cathy is here. But if you're listening, right, let's just say you are part of a team and the team dynamics are not in alignment. Outside of hiring you, which they should do and bring you in to help navigate that, what's one thing that they can do? What's one thing the listener can do that says, you know what, this is what we need to do to the team?
To nailing that down to one thing, Kathy.
Well, because a confused mind doesn't do anything. So we try to always stick to, here's one thing they can do.
Just one thing to implement on a team
Yeah.
today. We need to ensure that everyone is leaving the room understanding the same agenda item or the same, where are we going? So we need to do readbacks. Okay. We
Readbacks.
need
Okay, tell us
feedback.
what a readback is.
So we need to do readbacks. And when we're in a team meeting and we're talking about, say, a project, we're implementing a new process or a new project. And if I'm the only one talking in the meeting, and well, there's 9 of us, and I explain everything we're going to do, and I'm like, okay, anybody have questions? Then we all walk out of there. Do you honestly think that everyone interpreted everything the right way, what I meant, right? So no, we do a read back. That's when I say, all right, John, you tell us where are we headed? What's our mission? When we will walk out of here, what's everybody's to do? What's the end goal? And when are we coming back? Just read back to me everything that we just talked about. And so that opening that door, he does the read back. Then it opens the door for Sam over here to say, oh, that's not what I understood. right? And then Joe's over here, I didn't understand that either. And then we can talk through it and we're gaining alignment as we walk out that door versus the chaos that's about to ensue because we all have 9 interpretations of the direction we're going. So,
Yes. Bridging that gap. It's
yeah,
so, and creating that clarity and alignment. That's it's so powerful. And I would think that not just in the workplace, but if you, let's say you volunteer for a nonprofit, or right, you're helping in a food kitchen, or you're trying to plan a holiday dinner, right? It's the same framework.
everywhere you go, everywhere you go, it's the same framework. Whether you're talking to your daughter about her next steps in life. So, this is what I'm hearing. Is this accurate? And she'll be like, no, you were not listening to me. Okay. Right. Or, yeah, absolutely. It's in personal life, it's in business, whether you're in the same room as maybe your banker or your financial advisor, just reaffirming what you're hearing and making sure you're in alignment before you walk out that door. It's powerful.
Oh, okay. So for those listeners, again, let's recap this, because I think this is something that we all need to be incorporating, myself included, is that when we're in meetings, right? We're in conversations, and maybe it's one to one or one to many. Regardless of that, is to say what you call a read back. So what I hear you saying is our next step is what we need to do. This is what, you're doing this, you're doing that, you do. Are we all on the same page?
Age. Absolutely.
And imagine what would happen in an organization when they find clarity.
It's so fun to watch.
I bet.
It is. I I feel like a very proud mom some days, to be honest. Like
Because
it's
they're
just
like your little.
look, they listened, they're doing it. And then just the energy that they get from it because
Yeah.
they're seeing it work, it creates unstoppable teams.
Well, and it's not uncomplicated, right?
No, no,
But it's
it's simple.
strategic.
Yes, it's simple. But we are humans, we are complicated individuals. So,
Correct. We are. Okay. You were laying down such goodness here. I love it. So, before I'm gonna ask you a couple questions to get to know you a little bit better. But before I do that, how can people find you, Miss Kathy?
all right. They can find me at kathydomsch.com.
And
I
it's
can also
domsch.com. And I will
.com.
have the link in the notes.
Okay. Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
That's my
so I will
go-to.
put your LinkedIn in the LinkedIn link in the show notes. So you guys, for those of you that are listening, look at the notes. One click, you are there. And I understand you have a gift for our guests today, our
I
listeners.
do.
Yeah,
I
tell us.
do. I do. So with my Productivity is Power program that I continue to develop, what's based around the book, Not Now, right?
Yeah.
Procrastination is a 7-day challenge. So they can just go to the website and download the 7-day or sign up for the 7-day challenge and you'll get an email for the next 7 days. One just short little snippet of goodness to help you overcome procrastination and just be a little bit more productive every single day.
Oh, and imagine that 1%, right? If we were just better 1% every single day, what would the year look like when we
Imagine what you'll
complete
get
it?
accomplished. Absolutely. Imagine the goals you're
Yeah.
going to achieve. Yeah,
Oh, powerful. All
it's
right,
fun.
we got to sign up. Okay, now we're going to have a little fun. Let's get to know Kathy a little bit better and have some fun. So don't think I'm just gonna, it's like a fireside chat, popcorn. Don't think too much. Whatever's the first response, it's all good. This is not complicated,
No,
right?
I'm a thinker. Okay.
I know you're a thinker. I'm a thinker too. And some it's like, well, I could be. So just
All
let's
right.
just roll with it, have some fun. So would you say you are a morning or a night person?
That's the answer fast. Morning. Morning.
You're a morning person. Okay.
I'm only
Yeah.
laughing because I've been up really late lately, and yeah, no, I'm a morning
It
person.
slows you down, doesn't
It
it?
does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm most productive in the morning. Like my brain is like after I work out, it's like all of the things start clicking,
Oh,
you know.
we're fresh. We got to go. Yeah. All these good ideas zooming around. Definitely.
Okay. So, do you prefer coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Ooh, she's a coffee drinker. Okay. Sweet or salty?
salty.
Salty. Okay. My kind of girl. All right. If you were to have your favorite meal or a wonderful meal, is it at home or at a restaurant?
Mm. I love being at home, but I also love being served. Like,
Right?
yes, just
So it could go either
now and
way.
then it's okay. You can wait on me. Yeah. Have some
Yeah.
good
And
times.
then
Yeah.
you don't have dishes either.
I know. Well, exactly.
That's helpful.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. hmm
What's a food you refuse to eat?
I'm still trying to get used to Brussels sprouts. I can't do it.
Even if you slap bacon on there?
No. I've
No.
had fried ones that are okay, but I just prefer not to.
They're they're a tough one to get really, really well, but I just find that yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. More bacon though, then you just get bacon with a little bit of Brussels sprouts, and then
Okay.
there you go. Okay, so if you're reading a book, is it paper or Kindle?
Paper. I want it in my
Oh,
hands.
she's paper. I love it. Yes, I'm with you on that one. Okay, beach or mountains?
Beach. Well, I
Beach.
like the beach. Yeah. I like both. I can have mountains in the, yeah, some mountains on the beach, but no, beach.
Beach. Yeah. What is it? The sand, the sun, the water?
Yes. All the above. I love the mountains, but man, when I see the beach and yeah, I was in Texas a while back and I just looked over and I'm like, "Ugh, I gotta go." I was with a client and I was like, sorry guys, detour. Yeah, I had to touch the water. I had to get my feet in the water. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. So if you were to
Grounding.
move, is it a run or a walk?
Fast walk.
Fast walk.
I like fast walk. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't want to see me run.
I can't say I ever have, so I had no idea.
You don't want to.
It's not pretty.
It's just that little baby giraffe just kind of floating around out there, but I can walk like a machine. So
All right. Are you, when it comes to a phone, are you a talk or texter?
I'd rather text.
You'd rather text. There's that introvert coming out.
I know.
All right. And so have you ever seen the movie Zoolander?
No.
Ah, okay. Ben Stiller and I forget the other guy. They are male supermodels. And so every time they enter, and it's a comedy, right? So it's a spoof. And every time they enter a room, they have theme music, right? So it's really fun. So, if you enter a room, what would be your theme music?
Smile by Sidewalk Prophets.
I
Have
don't
you
know
heard that? Oh, that's my go-to before every workshop. When I'm on my way to my clients, I listen to Smile. It just gets the day going
by Sidewalk.
by Sidewalk Prophets.
All right, I'm writing this down because I got to go check it out as soon as
Yeah.
we're done. All right, I love that. Ooh, and one last one. Dog or cat?
Dog.
Dog?
Dogs. Yes.
Dogs.
Dogs.
Dogs. I love that. I'm allergic to cats. Cats love me. I love all animals, quite honestly. I'll never forget when I was at the barn and I'm sitting and I'm allergic. I'm like asthmatic. It's bad. But they're cute, right? So here I'm at the barn and I'm looking, they've got the bulletin board. I'm checking to see what the schedule's like and see all this stuff. And this cat out of nowhere just started crawling up me, lays down on my shoulder, head behind my neck, and just completely collapsed with its nails dug into my stuff. And it locked in and then just started purring. And I'm like, oh, oh, a baby. It was so amazing. I mean, and then I had to go wash my hands and get rid of before I had an allergic reaction. But yeah, dogs. Now, do you have dogs?
I do have dogs. Yes, I have two.
What kind?
One is a 5 pound, 14-year-old little silky poo, and another is a 10-year-old lab. We always have labs. We love our labs.
Labs.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they're lovers, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Oh,
truly being here. Is there a final message that you want to send off to the audience?
well, thank you for having me, Kathy. And just remember, productivity is power. Don't be busy.
Don't be busy,
Don't be busy,
productivity.
be productive.
Ah, juicy. All right, thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in to Breaking Bad Communication. If today's episode sparked a new perspective or gave you a tool you can actually use, well, that's the kind of conversation we love. That's what we're here for. So please share, comment, and remember, powerful communication isn't about saying more, it's about saying what matters with confidence, clarity, and purpose. So see you next week and keep breaking bad together.